Alright, today I'm dropping 10 insane tips Fortnite pros don't want you knowing. These aren't your basic build better kind of tips. These are next level strats to help you destroy sweats and dominate lobbies. So let's hop into it, and if you couldn't tell, I'm a little sick. Tip 1. Crouch peeking. Let's talk about crouch peeking. This is one of those mechanics that's so simple but so underused. Most players just peek like bots, standing straight up, fully exposed. It's a big mistake. Pros crouch spam while peeking to make themselves harder to hit. You'll see them bobbing up and down behind a window or a ramp. This makes your hitbox tiny and way harder to target. When you crouch peek, use a cone edit for extra protection. Place a cone in your box and edit it so you can shoot through the gap. This little trick makes you practically unkillable during peeks. And if you're new to crouch peeking, hop into creative and practice holding angles while crouching. It feels weird at first, but trust me, it's a game changer. Good players that use this are people like montage, and they can find some insane peeks that other people don't know about. Tip number 2. Left hand peek fake. Alright, so we all know right hand peeks are superior, right? But here's a sneaky play that pros use, the left hand peek fake. Imagine you're in a box fight. Most people expect you to edit for a right hand angle because it's safer, but instead you fake them out by editing a left hand peek. This baits them into thinking they have the advantage. Then boom, you re-edit for a clean right hand shot. Here's a scenario. You're boxed up and the enemy is holding your wall. Edit a left hand window, act like you're about to shoot, then instantly close it and re-edit it on the other side. They'll never see it coming, and practicing creative 1v1s to get the timing right. Tip number 3. Map knowledge. Let's talk about rotations. Pros always seem to be in the perfect spot at the right time. Right? That's not luck, it's map knowledge. Take a moment to memorize your favorite drop spots. For example, if you land Frenzy Fields, learn every chest spot, ammo box, and hiding spot. It's not just about the loot though. Knowing the terrain gives you an edge in fights. Here's an advanced strat. If your landing spot gets contested, memorize nearby backup spots. Say your main POI is crowded, rotate early to an unlooted spot. This keeps your loot up and your position strong. To level up even more, study the zones. Most zones tend to pull to high ground, so prioritize rotating there early to hold your opponents. This kind of game sense is what separates casuals from pros. Tip number 4. Box fighting isn't just building. Box fighting is like a chess match, but with turbo builds. And here's the thing. Pros use box fights to mess with your brain. Let's say someone is spamming edits on your wall. Don't panic. A lot of players overreact, and that's exactly what the pros want. Instead, position yourself in the safest corner of your box and wait for their mistake. And here's the power play. Change your edit patterns, and most players always edit the top corner of their wall, so opponents expect it. Surprise them by editing the middle or bottom corner for a sneaky shot. Keeping your edits unpredictable makes you way harder to read. One more thing, when you're on offense, don't waste time swinging your pickaxe. Use your AR or SMG to break walls faster and pressure your opponents. Tip number 5, and this might be weird, but it is using weird settings. Okay, let's get technical. One thing pros won't tell you is that their settings are completely optimized. Like, they don't just set it and forget it. They tweak their settings constantly. The most important is sensitivity. Most casual players run their sensitivity way too high, which is why their aim feels shaky. Pros go lower to improve tracking and precision. And here's how to find your perfect sense. Jump into creative and play some aim tracking maps like Shevuk's aim traver, and slowly lower your sense until you can consistently track moving targets without overshooting. Also, tweak your build and edit settings. Some pros use slightly higher build sensitivity so they can whip out builds faster without sacrificing aim control. Spend 30 minutes dialing this in and you'll notice a huge improvement. Tip number 6, pre-edit strats are meta. Let's talk about pre-edits. They used to be a meme, but now they're making a comeback at high-level play. I talk about them all the time, and here's how it works. Before engaging, pre-edit your wall into a window, then place it on your opponent's box. While they're busy breaking it or trying to build, you can shoot through the window and catch them off guard. This move is all about surprise, and your opponent doesn't expect you to play aggressively like this, so it messes with their rhythm. Pair this with a rapid SMG spray to overwhelm their builds. The combo of pre-edits and pressure is unstoppable, and spend time in creative with your squad practicing pre-edit strategies. Tip number 7, weapon cycling. Weapon cycling is one of those advanced mechanics that makes fights feel smooth. Instead of waiting for your shotgun to reload after a shot, instantly switch to your SMG. Spray for a second, then switch back to your shotgun. This resets the shotgun cooldown and keeps constant pressure on your opponent. Pros use this to shred through builds and health bars before you even realize what's happening. Go into creative and practice this with a pump, shotgun, and SMG or AR, and start slow and work on the timing, then speed it up. Once you get it down, you'll dominate close range fights like never before. Tip 8, storm awareness is a game changer. The storm isn't just danger, it's a tool. Pros use storm to force enemies into bad situations, and you can too. For example, if you rotate early and set up on high ground, you can hold players who are stuck rotating late. Even better, place traps near the storm's edge like fake builds or cones to catch enemies running in. Here's a sneaky move. When you're low on health, rotate in the storm for a sec to flank your opponent. They won't expect you to come from that angle, and it can win you the fight most of the time. Tip number 9, editing isn't just speed, it's precision. Speed is great, but pros prioritize precision when editing. Instead of spamming edits, they focus on making the exact edits they need to secure kills. To practice this, slow down in creative and working on editing cones, walls, and ramps with full control. Once you've nailed precision, then focus on speeding it up. Also, if you guys need help with your timing and other stuff like that, go watch my other video on how to instantly edit faster. Also, if your setup allows it, try double edit binds. This splits your edit and confirm keys, making edits faster and more consistent. Then tip number 10, confidence wins fights. Last but definitely not least, confidence. The best players don't hesitate. They commit to their plays. If you go into fights doubting yourself, you've already lost. To build confidence, play aggressive in zone wars or scrims. Even if you lose, you're training in your instincts and reaction time. Over time, you'll notice you're taking fights without fear and winning more often. Most pros play with confidence because they know if they're the best player in that game, they're gonna win no matter what. Confidence is sometimes filling your ego to a point where you think you're the best player in the game, so you dominate like you're the best player in the game. Now, don't go overboard with this because it can make you mess up. Sometimes your ego or confidence being too high and overly high will make you react to situations in a different way. That's not necessarily good. Like if you die to someone and they are not that good and you're definitely better than them, you're gonna beat yourself down about it, but don't do that. Ask yourself, why did I lose that fight? How did I lose that fight? What could I have done different? Figure out those little things that people are using against you so you can use them against your next opponents. Also, make sure that you're learning and slowly growing as a player. These videos are great and everything, but it literally comes down to you, your practice, your timing, how much time you spend on the game, and just how much you're obviously playing the game. Yes, these videos are great. They can help you with special tips and telling you what to do and how to do it, but they're not everything. You've got to grind it. You've got to do it. Additionally, here are a few specific ways to grow your confidence. Warm up effectively. Start every gaming session with a warm up. Creative maps with aim trainers, edit courses, and movement drills can make you feel mechanically sharp. Feeling prepared makes you feel confident. 2. Learn from mistakes. Review your gameplay. Watching replays of fights where you hesitated or misplayed help you identify patterns. Understanding what went wrong ensures you'll be better prepared next time. Number 3. Stick to your plan. In fights, commit to your decisions. If you choose to push or retake high ground, fully execute that play. Indecision often leads to mistakes, and trust your instincts over time. They'll improve. 4. Master one strategy. Confidence comes from consistency. If you have a go-to strategy or weapon loadout, you'll feel more secure knowing what works for you. Once you've mastered it, you can experiment with variations. Number 5, positive mindset. Mindset is everything. Stop focusing on the fear of losing and instead focus on the joy of improving. Remind yourself, I practiced for this moment. Positive self-talk can keep your nerves in check and help you stay in control. And remember, confidence doesn't mean overconfidence. A confident player knows their strengths and weaknesses and plays within their limits while pushing to expand them. Confidence isn't built overnight, but through consistent practice, self-belief, and reflection, you'll find yourself entering fights fearlessly and winning more often. Alright, that's it. 10 tips Fortnite pros are hiding from you. And if you learned something new today, drop a like and hit the subscribe button because we're just getting started. And comment below which tip you're going to try first or share your own secret strat. I might feature it in my next video. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.